So tonight we're going to look at Reichert number 1. This is a set of exercises, scales, and arpeggios. And Reichert was a Belgian flutist that actually lived a lot of his life in Brazil. So interesting story. And we're going to look at number 1. So if you want to pull that up on your music stand, you'll see that it's a scale exercise mixed with an arpeggio. And one of the things I like about this is how it blends the two together. So we have this back and forth scale, covers a lot of ground. It covers 2 octaves, which is really nice, and ends in an arpeggio. And what I wanted to have us all do first is, if you'll grab a pencil, what we're going to do is I want to mark in the solfege. And this is something that I haven't done in your lessons because it takes a little bit of time, but I think that'll be very helpful. Many of you are in ear training, and this will help reiterate the pattern, because if you know the solfege for the pattern, then you can apply it to all the different keys. So I'm going to move over to the iPad, and let's just start in the beginning. So you have to draw kind of tiny little solfege. But you'll see what's unique about this one is it starts with a descending pattern. Normally scales, we always go up. So this one goes do, so, la, ti, do, re, mi. Do, so, la, ti, do, re, mi. So it goes up to mi. Then mi, ti, do, re, mi, fa, so, and then so, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. And you can see how do, mi, so are kind of the anchor points. They're the solfege where the leaps happen. Then when we get to the scale, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi. So this just follows the scale. We'll just draw a little line because that's just simply the scale. That part's easy. And then la, so, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. So then this just simply follows the scale all the way down. And then we have an arpeggio in the end. And an arpeggio is made up of every other note related to a scale. So what would be, do, re, mi, we take out re. We get mi. Mi, fa, so, we take out fa, we get so. Do, mi, so. Do, mi, so, do. Do, mi, so, do. And if all of you've taken beginning ear training, that's all it is for that. So grab your flute. Let's play this so slowly now while you're watching the solfege as you go. And I'm going to just zoom mine out a little bit so we can see it. So I don't play this at 80 or 100, and I think the 16th notes are misleading for all the different things you can do with this pattern. So we're going to just take a very slow ba ba da ba da ba dee do 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 do. It's about that speed. Okay, 1, ready, go. So that's coordinating the solfege for C major. The way these are paired is major and then relative minor. Very important pairing throughout. So we have C major, A minor. And as you can see, it goes around the circle. It goes backwards around the circle actually. So it adds 1 flat, 2 flat, 3 flat, 4 flat, etc. So let's write in the solfege now for the minor. Do, so, la, ti, do, re, mi. One of the defining things about minor, me instead of mi. Notice how the first part, do, so, la, ti, do, re, mi, is the same as if it were in major. And that's because we have the raised 6th and 7th. For melodic minor. So the minors in this Reichert number 1 are based on melodic minor. So when we get to me, notice T carries through. This is one thing, it's one of my pet peeves actually in lessons when flutists forget the T that carries through. So me, T, do, re, mi, fa, so. Let's keep going. So, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. And let's write the descending solfege now because it's not the same in melodic minor. Those 6th and 7th degrees that we raised are now lowered. So it's do, te, le, so, fa, me. Te and le, T-E-N-L-E. Le, so, fa, me, re, do. Te, le, so, fa, me, re. And then do, me, so, do, me, so, do. Kind of ran out of room in the end. Notice how M-E is pronounced me. It's pronounced like in the Romance languages, like you would in Italian, me. In English, M-E, we say me. And this is an endless confusion because M-I is not Michigan. In major key, it's me. M-I equals me. M-E equals me in the solfege system. Just figure that out now and you'll be much more successful in your ear training having to sing solfege. Okay, now that we have completely marked this up, and I'm completely happy if you come to your lesson with this all marked up, let's try the A minor now. And don't forget this note, T. Don't forget me, ti, do. The G sharp carries through. All right, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and. All right, great. That's the idea. All right, back to, I'm still here. I know I got kind of lost in iPad land. I'd like to do the next one in F. It's actually a little easier than the A minor is tricky. That one will take some practice on your own to get all those high notes. And I'd like to show something about B flat. Is the most common confusion on flute is for the note B flat. So let me just show you a couple pictures. We have on the flute, we have this key where we put our thumb, where there's a round key and then a little button on the top. And that is thumb B flat. And you'll notice if you push thumb B flat on your flute, let's see, I need to go this way. If you push the thumb B flat, you'll notice on the top that there's a key that gets pushed down. So that's what this B flat key, that's what the thumb B flat pushes down to make the note B flat. We also have what's called the thumb key, and it's just this thing that looks like a metal bar. So not the round part, but just the bar. That's the thumb key on the flute. And we can produce B flat, by many of you know, by also pushing down an additional finger. You'll notice if you push down your index finger, it pushes down that same B flat key from the top. So we have thumb key, and then we have thumb B flat. So just to clear up that confusion, many of you have asked about that in your lessons. Some of you learned one way or another. Most band programs teach it the thumb key with the extra finger. So they call it 1 and 1. That's often how it's taught. And I think that's a good idea because this is a harder fingering because it involves more fingers. It's a more difficult one to master, actually. So if you know this one, you learned the hard way first, which is good. So let's actually play the F scale now with the 1 and 1 fingering of B flat. So pull this back up. So go to the third line in the exercise, and we're going to play the F scale using the thumb key with first finger on the right, playing the F scale. So here we go. Let's try it. 1 and 2 and 3 and great. So anything that involves B flat can be played two ways now. So if we want to play the scale using the thumb B flat, so not the thumb key with the extra finger, but just the thumb B flat, we can leave our thumb over there the entire time. So we finger every note using thumb B flat, leaving it down. You don't have to move. In fact, we're going to just get rid of the thumb key altogether because we don't need it for this scale. And let's play F scale now using thumb B flat. So you'll have to get used to balancing the way it feels a little bit different with your thumb on the thumb B flat key the entire time. So let's try that. I'm going to actually go here so you can watch my fingers as we do it. Good? Yes. Okay. So two different ways. And for flute playing, you need to know both. You need to be proficient in both. There's all kinds of different situations with trills and with different passage work, whether it's an arpeggio or a scale, where you might use one or the other, especially when you're playing fast, which lots of, writing, especially in band and orchestra, require us to play fast passages. That's what the flute does well. Plays running passages very well. All right, great. So let me see if there's any questions. Looks like we have Emily and Laura in the house. Tell me your questions. and then I'll let you go practice Reichert number 1. Okay, good, great, thank you. That's it. I'll be looking forward to hearing, maybe let's plan on starting with F and D minor, and you can show me the 2 different ways of playing with B flat in our lessons. Okay, signing off. Bye-bye.